Well, hi guys and gals, it's me George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man, and we're going to do some testing on this coil. And I got to tell you right up front, I really don't know what I'm doing. I have done some homework, and I've looked up a few things, and we'll just follow the instructions of what I found online. There are no specific numbers that I can find for this particular coil, though I did find some for a different number, and these are the numbers right here, if you can see them, if I can hold this straight enough. And so they all say between 1.5 and 2.10. That's 210. Yep, and that's thousandths. And I don't even know exactly which numbers, which places of testing those are referring to. Here's another chart that I found online, and I'll post a picture here so you can see it and look at it more closely. And if I can figure out how to do it properly, we'll do some testing. Now, I told you I was going to try both my digital and my analog ohm meter, and this one here had no batteries in it. I bought some new batteries and put it in, and the way it functions, of course, you have to turn it on, and to turn this on you go either 2-cycle or 4-cycle. It doesn't matter when you're doing ohms. And so it's down on 0 now, or actually it's pegged over. If I go like this, it takes it over to 0. So that's functioning. And let me turn on my digital over here. And I had tried this one earlier, thought it was working because the numbers came up, but the numbers weren't really reading anything accurately. And let me put this up here where you can see it better. So if I touch these together like that, you can see that it comes back to 0. This one I have on 20,000 ohm, and this one here goes up to 100, and that's 100 times 1,000. So that's that would go up to 100,000 ohms. So we're going to test it, and using this chart that I have over here that I showed you, it says that you should test it from the ground to the spark plug wire first. And let me see if I can get this to stay down here where I can hold it, and it will. Yeah, let me get this put in here. Okay. So we're reading 3.95, something like that. 3.88. That's 3,000. So almost 4,000 ohms between the ground and our spark plug wire. And then the next one is to go between the spark plug wire and the ground wire over here. Not the, yeah, the spark plug wire. And the ground over here. Is that working right? Am I doing that right? I'm not even doing that right. Between this, the spark plug wire, and the ground here. Ouch. Poked myself with that. And if I'm doing this wrong, one of you guys can clue me in. And we get the same reading there, 3.87. And then the last one should be between that was C and B, should be between B and C, which would be this one over here. So between here and here, that's the spark plug wire, and this wire here that goes to the condenser, and we're getting the same reading. So we're getting the same reading, so we're getting resistance and continuity, and I was concerned originally about whether or not my spark plug wire was actually working, and I wasn't getting a reading there. But you'll notice that if I ground the two of them, it comes almost back to zero, which is good, which indicates that the spark plug wire is a solid wire, so there's almost no resistance there. Alright, so let's move that one off to the side, and let's see what we're going to get with our Heathkit ohm meter. And again, you can see it's set up here. So I'm going to go with my wire hooked on to the spark plug wire, and then I'm going to touch it here, the ground, and we have, well, looks like that's saying a little over 3,000, so it's ostensibly the same. And then also we want to go to the ground wire over here that comes out, which would be the kill wire. Come on, if I get a good contact on it. And it's about the same. And then the final one is between that ground wire here and the ground here. Come on. And that's pegged all the way over, and that's the way it should be. No, we're going to go between B and C. B being this ground wire here. And the spark plug wire over here. And we get essentially the same. And testing the spark plug wire itself, get that to stay on there, and that comes back to zero, so we know that there has very little, if any, resistance on that. So as far as I can tell, the coil is good. I have no way of testing the condenser. I already ordered a new coil, but I guess I'm going to end up reselling it if I can. So if my coil is good, I'm going to assume that the reason we weren't getting any spark before was because the condenser was bad. It's because we've eliminated all the other possibilities. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up using that electronic ignition module that we bought, and we'll go from there and see what happens. So, like I said, I really don't know a whole lot about this kind of stuff. If I was Moslack, Doug Burton, check out his channel if you're into electronics and stuff, and he could probably tell me what I was actually testing for. And the resistance values in this are 3.5, and like I said, I couldn't find the actual values that I needed for this particular coil. It's very, very old. It's the motor, as close as I can tell, is from probably 1950. I wished it was 1949, because that would be cool. That would be coincide with the year of my birth, but as close as I could tell, the engine itself is from 1950. So we're going to move ahead on the assumption that the coil is good. And I hope this was instructive to you. And it's good to know what you're doing. And somebody has suggested that I do the dry cell or battery test on the coil and condenser. But I couldn't find good, clear instructions on how to do that online. I had one guy showing how to do it, but the way he did it, you couldn't see exactly where he was making his connections. So rather than shocking myself, we're going to just, we'll take this all off. So there we go. Till next time, this is George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man, saying thanks for watching, commenting, and for subscribing. And I hope you all will have a very, very happy and blessed New Year. Bye now.